Right now, deep inside your brain, your glymphatic system is failing to flush out the toxic waste your neurons dumped today, and the sleep scientists who discovered it admit they still don't fully know how to switch it back on. You can't feel this happening. There's no ache, no warning light. But every waking hour, your neurons are firing, burning fuel, and leaving behind metabolic sludge of proteins like beta-amyloid, the same ones found clumped in Alzheimer's brains. Normally, your brain has a janitor for this. It's called the glymphatic system, discovered only in 2012. Think of it as your brain's sewage network. And right now, tonight, if your sleep is even slightly wrong, that sewage network barely runs and the sludge stays. Here's the part that should unsettle you. This cleaning system doesn't work while you're awake. It barely works at all unless you reach deep, slow-wave sleep, the heaviest stage, the one most people skip without knowing it. When you finally drop into that stage, something strange happens. The support cells around your brain's blood vessels physically shrink by as much as 60%, opening wide channels. Cerebrospinal fluid rushes in, washing through the tissue like a tide moving through a city at night, carrying the day's toxic debris out and down toward your spine. It is violent, mechanical, and it only happens in the dark, in silence, when you are unconscious and unaware. The researchers who map this system will tell you quietly that they can't force it open. There's no pill that reliably triggers it. Sleeping pills don't count, many of them, especially benzodiazepines, sedate you without ever producing real slow-wave sleep. You can be asleep for 8 hours, and your glymphatic system can stay almost shut the entire time. Hypertension compresses the very channels this fluid needs to flow through. Aging slows the whole process down, starting as early as your 30s. Even the neuroscientists studying this in sleep labs will admit, off the record, that most nights, most adults, are only partially flushing their own brains. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. You've probably been told that more sleep is always the fix. It isn't. Total hours barely matter if you never reach deep, slow-wave sleep, which means a fragmented 8 hours can clear less waste than a clean 6. This is also why a glass of wine before bed can quietly work against you. Alcohol knocks you out fast, but it suppresses the very brainwave stage the glymphatic system depends on. You wake up feeling like you slept, while your brain spent the night barely cleaning itself. The advice to just sleep more was never precise enough to matter. There's a second threat hiding in this. That 30% decline in clearance efficiency that shows up with age doesn't wait for your 60s. Some studies now place the earliest slowdown in your 30s, quietly, years before anyone would think to check. Every disrupted night compounds. Every night of poor clearance is a night the sludge gets a slight head start. But sleep researchers and high performers who track this closely follow something specific. The first 90 rule. The deepest, most glymphatically active slow-wave sleep is front-loaded. It concentrates overwhelmingly in your first 90 minutes of sleep, more than in any other stretch of the night. Protect that window, and you protect the majority of your nightly flush, even if the rest of your sleep is imperfect. Disrupt that window with alcohol, a late meal, a hot room, a phone screen, and you can lose most of the night's clearance no matter how long you stay in bed afterward. Here's how you apply it tonight. Cool your room to somewhere between 65 and 68 degrees. A cooler brain drops into slow-wave sleep faster. Kill screens 30 minutes before lights out. Blue light delays the exact transition you need. Skip alcohol within 3 hours of bed. Lie on your side, not your back. Researchers found glymphatic flow measurably higher in that position. And go to bed at the same time your body already expects, because a consistent onset time is what lets that first 90-minute window arrive on schedule, deep and uninterrupted. Do that, and you're not just resting. You're running the wash cycle your brain has been quietly missing for years. But the glymphatic system isn't the only structure working against you while you sleep. There's another one, wide awake at 3 a.m., that can undo all of this in a single moment. And it's not the one you'd expect.